And with this, we will go to the first presentation. The presentation is by Davy Monticolo. He's a full professor at the University of Lorraine, and his focus is on computer science and artificial intelligence, and very focused on innovation processes. We're very much looking forward to the presentation, Davy. So please welcome and thanks for joining.
Thank you, Maria. And thank you all of you to give me the opportunity to show you what we have done in KALEIDOS project in terms of measuring the impact of knowledge valorization. So I think I can move. Yes, perfect. So my title is about measuring the impact of knowledge valorization in a complex ecosystem. It's a quadruple ecosystem. That's the ecosystem that the university works with academia, we will see, with industry, and we will try in KALEIDOS to identify all the indicators that we can use, all the metrics that we can use to measure the impact of knowledge valorization. Yep, sorry. So what we have done, first of all, we have tried to identify all these metrics, and we have take a look at the literature review, and we have also talked with several universities, and we try to define all the metrics that we can use. What we have observed in the first steps, that we have observed that traditional knowledge transfer often focus on narrow output. That means that the metrics was focusing on the output, like the patent, the spin-off, on the funding volumes that we can have, but not really focus on the way the university collaborate with a partner. So what we want to do in KALEIDOS project is really to focus on open science innovation management, and to focus on the broadcast ecosystem effect, and to improve the metrics and to propose new metrics. And we will see that the metric we propose is really to identify the collaboration on the way the university collaborate with the others, the way they engage their partners, the way that they develop the skills, and what will be the impact of all of this in terms of societal relevance. So sorry. So the methodology we have done is, first we have analyzed, we have tried to map the innovation ecosystem in the quadruple perspective. In the second step, we have identified, talking with all the university partners, and also to take a look at the literature review to really identify the impact indicators that we can use to measure the knowledge valorization and to identify the best practice. And after that, we have expanded all these metrics from the traditional metrics to new metrics that we can use to be the more relevant to characterize the collaboration between the university and the partner. And when we have done that, after that, we have submitted some survey, and I will explain that later. But we have collected a lot of data, and we try to extract insight from ecosystem data using mixed quantitative and qualitative approaches. Yep. So the quadruple helix ecosystem for us was the academia, of course. They contribute to primary research. The industry, we have a lot of university collaborate with the industry and SMEs. Civil society, it's a grown the ecosystem by providing social needs, user perspective, public engagement, and we have a lot of data about that. And the last actor is the government that shapes the environment through regulation, strategy, funding, and overseeing policy orientation. So in all the metrics that we have identified from the literature review, but also from the partner, university partner, we have identified 4 axes that could be really interesting for us to investigate. The first one was the collaboration, how to measure the quality and the intensity of the interaction between the actor. The second one was the open science, and to try to evaluate the transparency, the accessibility, the inclusiveness, and the reproducibility of the research of the university with their partner. The third one was the skills development, how they develop the skills between researcher, manager, and stakeholder with the other partner. And the last one was about innovativeness and knowledge valorization. What is the ability of the university to transform the knowledge into useful solution, new practices, and societal value? In all these four axes, we have a lot of indicators. For example, in the collaboration, we identified 20 indicators. I won't describe all the indicators, but give you only a few of them to see what kind of indicator we use. For example, in collaboration, we have an indicator about networks growth. We try to define the number of new partners actively engaged in the ecosystem. We have an indicator about the exchange quality, for example, and we try to assess the quality of communication and share expertise between the partners. So for collaboration, 20 indicators. For open science and inclusivity, we have 11 indicators to measure this metric and measure the impact. I give you forms them here. Open output, for example, we define the volume. We characterize the volume of open access publication. We have another indicator about policy impact. For example, we try to trace the contribution to transparency, reproducibility, for example. We have an indicator about public engagement, resource utilization. So in total, we have 11 indicators for this topic. In skills development, we have 15 indicators. For example, we try to define or to characterize the ability to accurately identify systemic challenge. We have indicator about soft skills growth. We have, of course, indicator about technical adaptability and skills that we can develop in technical part. And we have indicator about behavioral change, sorry. So 15 indicators for this topic. And for the last topic, knowledge valorization and innovativeness, we have 19 indicators in total. And all these indicators is all along the process of collaboration, from the ideation to the execution of event, and at the end to the social impact on the market or on the social society. How we use this indicator? The first step, we analyze the ecosystem. So we map the actor, we map the role of the actor in the relationships. The second step, we review the existing practices. So we try to identify all the good practices in the framework and in the collaboration. The step 3, we define and test the good indicator for an event that we want to evaluate and we want to use to evaluate the impact. And the step 4, we collect the data and we learn about the data. And the data are collecting from survey, from questionnaire, but also from observation during an event between the university and one of the actors of the quadruple helix. So the pipeline we have done, and Mireia talked about the toolkit before, and we will provide in the toolkit the way to use all the indicator. And in the way to use all the indicator is, first of all, for the university to define the context, the ecosystem interaction that she can have, and what kind of event the university can organize. That could be courses, that could be a workshop, that could be a meeting with stakeholder. And from this first step, the context, The second step will be to capture the data that characterize all the metrics that I talked about before. And we use the survey before the event, during the event, and after the event to collect the data. But we also use an observation process to see what happened in a meeting, what happened in a workshop, to collect the data and to fulfill all the metric. After that, we have a process, and in the toolkit, we will give a guideline to use and to interpret all this data. And again, the step one is to interpret all the data we have: collaboration, open science, skills development, innovativeness, and knowledge valorization. And in the guideline, we provide some recommendation to improve the best practices according to the data that we have collected before. So if we want to summarize what we have done in KALEIDOS project about measuring the impact, we have identified all the metric and indicator from the literature review, but also from the discussion we had with several universities, and we have tried to identify new metrics to provide new value. The concern that we had in KALEIDOS is really to capture what's happened during the interaction between the university and the quadruple helix according to the new metrics that we can identify. And what we want to provide here is a set of metrics that the university can use to pilot and to improve their relationship with the ecosystem, but also to improve their knowledge valorization process and their open science processes. So thank you very much. I will be happy to answer your question.
Thank you, Davy, for presenting the work in the project and the potential implementation of this work in practical terms at the university. I think probably what we will do is we will go to the next presentation by Teresa Zurde Martí, and we leave the questions for the end of the webinar.